Hey, let's talk for just a minute about conversion ecosystems and a very cool product we call Ready Buyer Radar that might be relevant for a few of you. Um, but I hear a lot people frustrated with their website not converting and looking for all kinds of variables around their website, looking to buy a new website, have a new one done. And my feeling is it's not just the website, but a non-conversion means they didn't click or call or convert, whatever it is that your website was pointing them to do. Industry-wide, we see really pitiful website conversions. Most sites experience 90 to 95% bounce rate, meaning 5 to 10% of the people that actually are there on the site call, click, or convert. It reminds me a lot of this sand sifter over here on the right side, where you're scooping up, a whole bunch of sand, hoping to be able to keep some of it, and most of it's running out through your fingers. But really, the question is, what did the non-conversion cost your company? What were the resources you spent to get them there? Are you doing pay-per-click? Are you doing print media? Are you advertising somewhere on TV or radio, driving them to the website, and then they're bouncing? What is the opportunity cost for your company of that lost revenue? Were you going to be able to, do a whole new advertising campaign to gain market share and more credibility in your marketplace? Did the fact that you drug them, you woke them up, made them understand that they needed the product, and then you sent them over to your competitor and put their money in your competitor's coffers? Strengthens them. Now they can do the advertising campaign and gain the market share instead of you. It's just painful. This is bad stuff. I've got a lot of business owners that just literally put their heads in the sand and don't think about the conversion. They just start worrying about something else because they don't know what to do with it. And I've got solutions for you today. Not only the one conversion that one person would have done at that time, but that's not the last thing they're going to buy from you in their lifetime. They're not the last thing they're going to buy. So how many would they buy from you over the course of that lifetime? And then how many people would they tell about a great experience? Their father-in-law, their brother, their next door neighbor. And how many people would they refer? What's their lifetime value? Oh, no wonder people are putting their heads in the sand. It goes back to that old adage of you can count the seeds in an apple, but you cannot count the apples in a seed. Well, let's look at how we solve this. First, I want to talk a little bit about human nature and the buying process. On any given buying process, no matter what you sell, people run a process from A to Z. A is when they first have the thought, maybe I'll buy that thing. And Z is when money changes hands. And they're going to run through a process. Some of them do it slow and deliberately. Some of them do it quickly. But there is a process for everyone. In the beginning, they start to consider solution options. Maybe I shouldn't buy this. Maybe I should buy that. Maybe I should wait. They've got to go through that. And when they come through, maybe not wait, but they're going to buy this or that, they start asking friends and associates for recommendations. And they start narrowing down this or that around about N. And then they're starting to choose a favorite about Q. The decision's coming soon. Here at T, they decide, I'm going to buy the thing. Now it just depends on where and when. So at T is usually when most businesses get in the game to try and advertise. People who have decided that they're ready to buy, they just don't know exactly who from. And so a lot of activity here, T through Z. So there is a process that has to take place there. Now, there's another point that's very important for your buyer and for you. And for you is, how do you become the obvious choice? Relevance to your market is a process, and it starts like this. It has to be first, you're known. Then, if you're known, you have a chance to become liked if you're a great business. And if you're liked, you might become the trusted provider. But if you do, you are then the obvious choice, and you are the company that makes people think, I'd be a fool to give money to anyone else. There's no way I'm buying tires from anyone else. There's no way I'm letting my friends and relatives give their money to anyone else. You become the obvious choice. And so what we want to do is understand that these two things overlay, and these are two separate cadences that your customer has to go through in order to buy from you at the right time. And so this becoming the obvious choice, the experts tell us, require 8 to 14 associations, interactions, or touches with your business to get to the point where you could be the obvious choice. 8 to 14 touches. And that's really sad, as most of our salespeople give up after the first or second try. That's just how it is. So this is why marketing is so important, become the obvious choice. And so I've got a number line here to track from 0 to relevance. And through this relevance process, again, you've got to become known, liked, and then potentially trusted. And over here at 1, it's freezing cold. And then maybe around about 7 or 8, it starts to become neutral or warm through about 10, 11, and 12, and then trusted 14, 15, and 16. And they're going to have to go through this process for them to choose you, knowing, liked, and being trusted. So let's overlay that cadence, knowing, liking, and trusting, the number line, over the letter line of the buying process, A through Z. Now, hopefully, ideally, your customer finds you first touch right around N as they're narrowing down their decision, so they can be going through the cadence of knowing, liking, and trusting, hopefully right about the time the money changes hands or when they choose who they're going to buy from, vendor selection, here at about WXY. So we're hoping, ideally, to line it up, these two things together. So the relevance process, the question of why this becomes a little bit difficult is, when did the consumer figure out who you are for the first time? When did they get their first touch? Is it right here at vendor selection at about T? If so, you've got some work to do. You've got to get in, 8 to 14 touches over that really short period of time. And a lot of times our salespeople don't have the fortitude to make it happen and to contact and make it happen. So we got to have marketing do the work to help you become the obvious choice. And so again, based on where they were in the process, when they stopped by your website, were they early? If so, they're going to bounce, and that's why your website feels like a leaky bucket or a sand sieve on the beach, or a sand sifter. So again, as I mentioned, it's not just your website's fault, because maybe they came to your website here around about 4. And if that's the case, they're just going to bounce because they don't like you. They certainly don't trust you. They're just starting to know you. So we need to find a solution to make this happen. In fact, here's a visual of maybe they found you right around W and V. And if that's the case, they're just getting to know you before they buy. So maybe you can get them next time. Or we can come in and build a solution around them. And in order to have the solution, we need to know why that last visitor didn't convert. And we're not really sure. No one knows. But we can apply psychological factors to narrow it down and try and get them. So there's 3 things that most of these guys are looking for. 1 is third-party reputation information. They got to validate that you're the kind of business they want to do business with. You got to treat people right, and we've got to see third-party people talking about it. Another group of people are looking for a deal. They've made a decision what they're going to buy, and they're just looking for the best price or the best thing or the best value that they can gain. And then third, some of these people are looking for a less promoted service. They came to your website, wasn't on the front page, maybe it was on a back page, and so they left. So we've got some work to do. And of course, maybe it was only their third touch and that's why they left. So we have a program called Conversion Rescue, where we build what we call a conversion ecosystem around that sand sifter. And so we can capture every one of these people and continue to sell to them long after they leave your website on their third touch. Provide the extra touches that they need so you are the liked and trusted solution when it's time for the credit card to come out. So what does a conversion ecosystem consist of? And I've already given you some ideas. We've got to be pumping in 5-star reputation information. They've got to trust you. Maybe we're showing them some specials and some deals, and there's a way that you can get them as a customer by giving them a great deal, and then know that you're going to get continued business patronage referrals from them. Or maybe we can give them some branding, get some more touches, or maybe we can show them other products that they didn't see, that maybe that wasn't as obvious what you do from your first page of the website. And so we can provide all of these things just to them inside this conversion incubator. And this is how we do it. We use display ads on phones, computers, tablets. and we build this conversion ecosystem. And here's how we do it. We take 3 different types of ads. Okay, some of them are reputation ads. Some of them are discount ads or free offers. And then some of them are product alternatives or branding. And we show them to them in a varying, we display them over a period of time in varying orders. So for instance, let's look at a 90-day run for these guys. We're going to give them 10 different ads. Maybe from day 0 to 3, we give them a discount. And then from day 3 to day 10, we give them reputation. And that reputation, that converts so well early on. A lot of times they just needed some trust. Okay, or we give them a free offer or a discount. And then again, maybe the next time we deliver another reputation ad, a different person's experience. Or we deliver them a product ad or a branding ad, a different product and branding ad, and we change them out maybe every week to 10 days over that 90-day period of time. And we're able to use these different ads to overcome something called banner blindness. Now, you've probably noticed when you go maybe on a website to look at a pair of shoes, you don't buy them. The next time you show up at, say, USA Today, there's a picture of those shoes following you around. Now, that shoe company, that vendor that you went and looked at, they made an estimate on a rudimentary retargeting program where they're just going to continue to show you those shoes and the price and hoping that you're going to go back. Maybe price wasn't the only thing. Maybe you needed something about reputation. Maybe you needed a different product. Maybe you needed a discount of some kind. So this is very elevated retargeting. This is very advanced, high level retargeting that we're going to offer. And it is very powerful. It literally 10x's conversion after people leave your website. And the great thing about it is it allows you to continue to tell your story long after they left your website. And we try to scratch those itches in those 3 different psychological areas. Here's how we do it. We deliver these ads on phones, on tablets, and on personal and work devices. And we deliver it through apps where they're reading. I was looking through Twitter. I clicked on an SI article, and I saw one of these little ads right in the middle of my SI article. I scroll right past it. I see it there. I see them on websites over on the side, and you've seen those things. And this is how we get the information out to them. Our networks have access to 95% of the available windows. Some of these, again, rudimentary retargeting programs just use Google. And Google is the biggest network, but it's only 40% of the windows. So we have Google and the other 55% of the windows where we can deliver these different ads. And it becomes very powerful for your customer because it feels like you're everywhere. We're going to deliver 6 different ads to them every day over 90 days, and they're going to feel like you're everywhere. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, what is this company's advertising budget? It is crazy. They are everywhere. But as I mentioned, only for them, because we're going to build that little incubator ecosystem just around them. And again, we're spending to show just ads to people who have been at your website. More relevance, more intelligent ad spend. Lastly, but very important also, be the most recent vendor before they buy. Be the last one they see. Sometimes there's a recency bias where they're like, oh yeah, I will go buy from them because here it is and I just saw them and they were everywhere. This is very powerful. Let me show you a quick example of the ads that we build and then where they show up, and you'll see why we have to make so many different sizes of ads. And here's an example of some ads that we made for a kickboxing gym, and you'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different sizes. And again, you'll see because the different websites have different window sizes that we can advertise to. And again, rudimentary retargeting uses maybe the most 3 common website ad sizes. And that's okay. It's better than no retargeting program. But let me show you where these would show up on our live preview window. I'm going to go find the Weather Channel because the Weather Channel has 6 or so different ad size windows. So here's a header ad size, and then the big one here on the side, and then the little square one on the middle, and then another kind of a horizontal ad, and then a footer ad down at the bottom. And you start to see why we need to have so many different sizes and why this becomes incredibly powerful, because they leave here and they go somewhere else, and you're going to be showing up all over the place, following them, and just increasing those touches as they go. It's very, very powerful. Very powerful. Well, I've got another product that might make some sense for your business. It just depends. I don't know. But what this allows us to do is this allows you to leverage your competitors' sales and marketing efforts and steal buyers that are ready to make a purchase right before the purchase happens. This is very powerful stuff. Would you like to ethically steal sales from your competitors? The highest quality prospect that you could find is someone ready to pull out their credit card, or at least someone who's made the decision to buy, someone who's sitting there at T, U, or V on that letter line continuum that we showed. This is what I call a laser targeted prospect, because again, we're only spending ad money on people who are ready, who are very, very interesting, super targeted, super intelligent, and very powerful. So we latch onto somebody who is ready to buy. This makes sense for a business where a customer goes to a physical location to take a look before they actually buy. So maybe a jewelry store. They're going to go shop around and look at different jewelry stores to see what they have. Maybe it's a car dealership because they're going to go look at the cars on the lot. Maybe it's a furniture store where they go in to take a look at a couch and measure it to make sure it's going to fit in the right spot of the room. Maybe this is a dermatologist that's delivering Botox, and they're people are coming in every 60 to 90 days. This kind of scenario works really well because what we use is satellite technology to mark that location, and then when a customer comes in there with their phone for 10 minutes, we tag that phone, and we can not only send ads to them right there on site, say, hey, here's a 20% off, come to our location and buy from us. And we can continue to market to them after they leave the location, which is something that nobody does. And then the cool thing is, when they get home, these ads will jump not only from the phone, but to a tablet or a laptop or a desktop at home or even at work. This is very, very powerful. It's 3 different systems overlaid. Powerful, what we call Ready Buyer Radar. And we are looking for people who have decided to buy and grabbing them right there. And again, this allows you to leverage your competitors' buying process because they have spent money to educate, awaken, and deliver these potential buyers to the location. And then you just come in and take them and sell to them. Wow, very powerful stuff. So as I mentioned, if your customer can be tracked physically to some location prior to buying, we can use Ready Buyer Radar to snatch them away from your competitors before they buy from them. The structure is proprietary, like I told you. This is something that no one else offers, and you're not going to find it elsewhere. But it does give you the ability to legally steal competitors and drive them back to you right as that credit card is coming out of their wallet. Here's an example of an auto dealer in the South. It's a Mercedes-Benz dealer that did this, and we tagged an Infiniti dealer, a Lexus dealer, a BMW dealer, and an Audi dealer. And if it's a conversion, it means that their phone was tagged on their lot and they return to the Mercedes location. And when that happens, a conversion counts. It's very cool. It allows us to track the spend, and so we know what's working. It's very powerful. There's really a lack of that in digital marketing, so this is very powerful in that way. These guys, in their first month, brought 33 buyers stolen from 4 competitors back to Mercedes. They claim they closed 70%. So that would be 23 cars that Mercedes stole from Infiniti, Lexus, Audi, and BMW. It's very powerful stuff. These guys also tracked a Center for Performing Arts, which is a place where high-income people go, but they just aren't in market. Now, this became powerful months down the road, but this particular first month was better for people who were already in the market, which was the other dealers. And then this became powerful down the line as they are marketing again to people that buy their type of vehicle. Powerful, powerful stuff. Ready Buyer Radar. Now, if they're standing there at T and know they're going to buy, but they're not quite ready with the credit card yet, we can still grab them with the Ready Buyer Radar. We can drop them in your conversion ecosystem and continue to market to them, show them your reputation, show them a special or a deal, give them branding, give them product alternatives, get them to the point where they're ready to buy from you, because that makes so much sense. Again, leveraging your competitors' advertising efforts and spending and pulling the clients with the claw right from them when they're ready to buy. It's devastating. Powerful for you. Again, laser targeted prospects. The best advertising spend you can make is on people that are ready to buy what you have to sell. Most intelligent, most efficient. Well, what's your story? Because this really matters, is what's your revenue per conversion? How much do you make per transaction? And beyond that, chances are this is not the last thing your customer is going to buy from this type of a vendor. They're going to buy more. And what's the lifetime value of that conversion? Maybe they buy one a year, or one every 3 years, or one every 7 years. How many are they going to buy in their lifetime? What's the value of that conversion? And then what's the value of the referrals that they'd make? If they had a great experience, they're going to tell their buddy about it. They're going to talk about it at work. They're going to talk about it at the family parties. And hopefully you're going to drive some referrals in. What's the lifetime value of those conversions? It becomes crazy. What does it cost you for not having a conversion ecosystem in place? And again, a lot of business owners put their head in the sand and don't want to think about the cost of poor conversions because it is immense. What does it cost you to not have it? Man, that's a lot. Well, this program is expensive, but I will say this. Generally, if you're paying to get traffic to your site from PPC, from maybe some in-the-mail print media, from TV or radio spend, you're bouncing people off your site, you need to talk to us. If your revenue per sale is big, you want to talk to us because we are not able to serve everyone. Time is limited. We only add a handful of companies each month, and so we try to find the people that are going to be the best potential success story for us. And so we have an application process to see if we have the potential fit for a working relationship. And I'd invite you to find the link here on the page and click that. Go through and tell us a little bit about your business. And that'll give our consultants a chance to study what you're doing and see if it works well. We'll reach back to you if it makes sense. We'll have a strategy session with you, which is a 45-minute, very valuable conversation about your business, what you're doing, and how you might implement some strategies to greatly improve that. So thanks for your time. Let's give consideration to a conversion ecosystem and maybe even Ready Buyer Radar. Find the application and let's see if we've got a match.